Hey everyone, the world's worst DIY hack here. Let me show you the problem. Now ultimately the problem is the one that everybody has, the connection on the P-trap here. You just cannot get to stop leaking no matter what you do. Now let me back up and show you the issue. Already people are having a fit in the comments. This is a double vanity in a bathroom. And this got renovated about 15, 20 years ago. And it all stems from, this was done by the way, a professional plumber. Some of this was. The waistline is inside, it's not in the wall, obviously, it's inside the cabinet. So essentially this stub out, which is it's about 12 inches or more further out than where it normally should be. And I think that's where the problem starts. They got an auto vent in there, so go ahead and comment if you think that's bad or it's not high enough. He could have had more room, but maybe the water line was in the way, or it could have gone up there more to the corner. I don't know. That auto vent is probably 15 years old at least. Air admittance valve, excuse me. Probably should be replaced. We've had no sewer gas smell or flow issues, so I guess if it ain't broke. And this is the other side. So I don't know why this came out of the wall and ended up in the cabinet. This was done by a professional plumber that we paid handsomely for. Okay, so I'll put up on the screen now a video of what he did when he finished it. And as you can see, he had accordion style drain, which I don't think is legal. I don't know. We're in Georgia. God only knows what the code is here. But so I, after 15 years, got around to saying, you know what, I'm going to get rid of the accordion style plumbing and back up a little bit, and I replaced it. So this is my work. You can tear it apart in the comments from here to here. Now, this is a little bit too far to the right. I think he had the accordion style because he couldn't quite make it work. Over here, he had more room. He put one in on this side too, accordion. It looks like it could have worked, maybe not. Maybe the connections here and here were going to get in the way of each other. But nonetheless, so I just said I'm going to replace it. So I couldn't, and I just assumed a straight pipe wouldn't work, so I used this. So what this is I forget what it's called officially, but it's this 45-degree elbow that will connect up to the tailpiece. It's got the adapter washer to go from 1 1/4 to 1 1/2. And then what you do is you cut it in half and you get two pieces. And then you can connect the two pieces and you essentially get these two 45s, 45, 45. And what I really need is this tailpiece to be out further because the stub out is in a ridiculous location compared to normally this is all the way into the wall. So this whole part had to come out at least a little bit. So I thought it worked pretty well. Right, connection. And then when I made the connection here, of course, it did not matter what I did. I could not get it to stop leaking. And it's been this way for years. It's bubbled up there. This has probably been leaking for years and years and years. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get, it's very slow. Obviously, it's not under pressure. I went online and everybody said the same thing, that these are cheap. When you get them from Lowe's and Home Depot like I did, they're cheap. This obviously does not have a gasket. You can kind of see the rubber basket there in red or orange. I think you can kind of see it there. And these aren't under pressure. They don't have any standing water on them here, here, or here. So they don't leak anyway. The one that has standing water all the time just has that flimsy connection. And, I went online and it was like, oh, here's how you fix it. Well, you can put thread tape. I tried regular thread tape. I tried gas tape, which is extra thick. Didn't make any difference. Don't over tighten it. These are plastic. If you over tighten it, they'll tweak. It's small, it's soft plastic, it's cheap. You can't over tighten it. I didn't over tighten it. I under tightened it. Then I tightened it normal. Then I over tightened it. It did not matter. This still leaked. You have to make sure that the connection here is perfectly aligned. I did that several times. Tighten this gently first and then worried about tweaking these other ones so it wouldn't disrupt the alignment here. Didn't matter. It still effing leaked. Okay, are you ready for the real fix? Here's how you fix it. This is what I bought. It turns out you can buy another product from Team at Lowe's. It's just a tiny bit more expensive. It's heavy duty, right? That's not the only difference. The joint down here is different. Okay, this is the wall arm that connects to the P-trap down here. This is the joint that always leaks. Look at how that one is different. Doesn't have the fluted sort of flared end to it. In fact, I just slipped this on because I can only work one hand at a time. You can put a washer, a rubber washer on there. Now it's got the fluted end to match. All right, this female bottom J-tube here. Okay, this is the old one. Right, that's the classic kind of naturally flared fluted end that's got to magically sit perfect right in here. There's no gasket. And that's what everyone says is bad about these. They're cheap. It doesn't fit. Would leak no matter what. Some people are lucky. They just put tape on the threads here and it suddenly works. Not for me. That's it. I'm going to put this together and see if it leaks. It's a little bit thicker. I mean, it's quite a bit thicker. The regular one, that one was $4.98 at my Lowe's. The so-called heavy duty was, I don't remember. I'll edit that in on the screen. It was 7 or 11, one of those. It really wasn't that much more. All right, so I'm going to have to cut this down to size. And then I'll go back in there. I can't understand it. Why would you wear gloves? I can't understand it. All right, I cut this down to size. Hopefully the correct size. And already I noticed the difference that this is, the cut with my angle grinder was much cleaner. The smaller ones, the cheaper ones, it was all gummy and there was just nasty edge here, but this was almost perfectly clean. Okay, that went together really quickly. I mean, really quickly. It just fit in there. That was no problem. It feels like it's nice and snug. We shall see. I'll do the other one and then we'll test it out. Okay, I just cut the second one, and again, same thing. It's amazing, just a little bit extra thickness. These are labeled PVC. The cheap ones are just plastic. I think they're polyethylene or something. But this is the cheaper one. You can see the difference in the cut because it's such softer plastic. Okay, the second one is done. Man, it was quick. And get some water running just to get that refilled. I'll definitely refill it. Now it's just a matter of that standing water right there. Give that as much time as I can. Well, it has been 30 minutes on each side. Well, 35 minutes here. But 30 minutes since I finished the second one. And it is dry. So let me tell you, the solution to the leaking joint here is not, despite what they say, it is not make sure it's perfectly aligned. Of course you should do that. It's not put Teflon tape. And by the way, I didn't mention pipe dope because I don't think, and I'm a hack, so I don't know, but I don't think you're supposed to use pipe dope on plastic fittings, especially cheap plastic. And the solution wasn't make sure you don't over tighten it, which of course you shouldn't over tighten it. The solution was not rebuild the whole thing with actual 1.5-inch PVC, which wouldn't be a fun project. I like doing that kind of stuff. But the 1.5-inch pipe is much bigger than this 1.5 plastic stuff. So it would not have fit into that stub out there, that adapter. So that is the solution. The solution is not all that other crap. The solution is just get cheap plastic that's a little bit less cheap. $12 kit instead of a $5 kit. It took me less than 5 minutes to replace that. Okay, so what do you think? Again, I did all of this from here to here. And I had to bring it out because my pipe is in the cabinet. Right, there's the finished other side.